Windows down, it's Friday. Rudy Campos Jr., Derek Gervin, the sports answer. Let's ride! It's the Friday drive home, San Antonio flow. Rudy and Derek live on YouTube. Here we go, streaming online, podcast wherever you roam. NBA, NFL, Spurs, and hot takes. We on the zone. Powered by Salem, surround San Antonio.
Music.
Welcome to the Friday Drive. It's the Sports Answer. It's Derek Gervin. It's Rudy Campos Jr. And yeah, we're back for another Friday edition. We've got some breaking news that happened earlier. We'll get into a little bit here. But first, of course, we're going to give a shout out to Navarro Roofing. And, when recently we've had a lot of hailstorms. There was even a tornado in San Antonio. So, there's damage left and right when it comes to the roofs. And you know what, Derek? The best ones to call out there are Navarro Roofing. You got to give them a call today. They are the best in the business. 210-680-5070. They work with your insurances. We get crazy weather in South Texas. They're the best. They're going to take care of you from day one, from start to finish. They're going to make everything happen for you. That's Navarro Roofing. And also, we are coming to you from the Salem Surround Studios. Shout out to Salem Surround. When you need that digital marketing, you give Salem Surround a call. You want to be the best in the business? That's what Salem's there for you to do. Give them a call today. Salem Surround, contact today. Both sponsors of us here on the Friday Drive of the Sports Answer here at Answer Now TV on YouTube. I'm already out of breath, Derek, by saying all that. I need to shorten that somehow, man. But nonetheless, man, before we get into everything, let's give a quick shout out because we both were a part of a basketball camp this week. For Macaulay Christian Academy. They had a basketball camp. I worked with them for a little while, and then you were actually able to get out there. Just give a quick shout out to the kids out there. They worked really hard.
Yeah, I had a great day yesterday. I have to thank you, Rudy, for even the opportunity to meet Coach Vineyard and the young people. And as you know, I made some new friends yesterday.
Yeah,
man, it's just to see them, and you I have to thank you again for even bringing out my basketball cards. When they saw that, you could see their faces change, and me signing their autographs yesterday. That was one of the best feelings. And then a couple of them even talked to me in the evening. I guess they're allowed to be on social media, so a couple of them gave me a shout out on TikTok. So yeah, it was a fantastic day, and I have to thank you for making it happen.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to get from JC, who was a special leaf tea guy. He gave me a bunch of Derek Gervin cards, and I had him there. And I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity. Give them to the kids. You were signing autographs yesterday, taking pictures. They did ask you to dunk the ball. I didn't see the dunk. I was hoping to get, the reverse 360 tomahawk, but we didn't get anything yesterday.
My last name is Gervin, not Jordan. So,
so they would have said finger roll.
We're not known for air activity. We're more known for on the ground activity, getting off the ground a little bit. I'm sorry, but you also heard me explain the problem, so the young people would know. It's not the going up to dunk; it's the possible landing, and that's the problem. Why a lot of us older guys don't want to even give it a chance.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And, also real quick, if you want to guys, people are in TikTok. We're in TikTok world. We went live on TikTok. It's the Sports Answer on TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, you want to catch us there, you can join in on that there. Not really handling the comments on that side yet, but we'll figure it all out. It's the first time we do it here, but we got comments, and Derek, the comments are already coming in. Coach Gio's in here, former person that we've worked with in the past, saying the LeBron sexual is moving to Philly as we speak. And then he's asking if I'll sign his 28-3 card, referencing the Atlanta Falcons 23 Super Bowl loss. And I'm tired of getting all this hate from that Super Bowl. But the number one topic that came into the day, Derek, is, of course, LeBron James himself. And he's a Philadelphia 76er. Now, I'll be honest, Derek, I didn't care when free agency happened. LeBron leaves, great. It wasn't the decision. It wasn't, let's go rent out the Boys and Girls Club, on East 1999 and whatever Bone Thugs and Harmony said in, Ohio. we're not getting that, boys club going. But this time it just felt like nobody cared other than the 4-letter network. That was it. Everybody's figured, you know what? He's going to go somewhere. Congratulations. Let's move on.
I think people care. It's just a lot of people still have that sour taste in their mouths from the year when he was leaving Cleveland and announced that he was going to Miami when he was making the move.
Yeah.
So I think this time people didn't get as excited because we didn't know what the date was going to be. And so for him to pick the 24th, what year is he going into in his career?
24th.
Yeah. So, I told you LeBron's very calculating. So 24 days, people have waited for this announcement.
Yeah.
On July 24th, Mr. Calculating LeBron James. So maybe people understand me now. But if we look at the move, it gives them the best starting 5 in the league, I'll say, even over the Spurs. But notice I said starting 5. The problem is I still think they have some things that they have to shore up on the bench.
Yeah.
And if you look at their bench right now, they've got some guys that have potential, but they're unproven. And you have to also look at Joel Embiid, his health. That's the key overall, whether they bring in LeBron, bring in Jaylen Brown, whoever they may bring in. The key is you got to have that big man that can get you a bucket or at least get to the free throw line down the stretch.
Yeah.
And so we'll see how it pans out. I'm not giving up on Boston. I know some people think Boston got the short end of the stick, that Paul George is washed and all that. I've read those. He's washed and all that stuff. He didn't look washed in the playoffs to me last year. And then you have to look at sometimes factor in the actual team, the system of play. So if you look at Philly, they have a very good team, right, on paper, the first 5. But after that, you got, I told you, I had to remind you, Tyrese Halliburton.
He's coming back.
He's on his way back.
He's on his way back.
And then you look at teams like Washington. So we'll get more into it. But I think right now it moves the needle for Philadelphia. It does make them a better team, even before they shore up their bench. And welcome to Philly, the team that drafted me in 1985. Welcome to Philadelphia, LeBron James.
Yeah, that is right. James, he's going to be a Philadelphia 76er. Dean Wade was the other guy they were end up getting. Obviously they got Jaylen Brown. You said the best starting 5 probably in the NBA. You're looking at Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe. That's a lot of run and gun ball right there with the Jaylen Brown, VJ, and Tyrese. But I got something, you know what? I'm going to save this for a little while in the Joel Embiid talk, because I want to kind of get a little bit of a down the rabbit hole with you on this one. But when it comes to the Eastern Conference, everybody's already pointing at, the Philadelphia 76ers being the number 1 team. They're going to represent the East in the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals. But you mentioned Boston. You mentioned, Indiana kind of running it back without Miles Turner, but they're kind of running it back. Tyrese Halliburton coming through. The New York Knicks, they lost some big men, but not to where it was a crucial loss. So they're coming back. There's other teams that are just kind of being overlooked at. If the Kawhi deal moves forward, Toronto's another team that you've got to look at as a viable option. You've also got Miami, which I don't buy Miami at all. They kind of gave away the farm for Giannis. So I don't see Miami being a contender in the East, but they're going to be contenders to get into the playoffs. They're going to make it tough for everybody. People are overlooking the Pistons. I mean, they were the number 1 team last year. I think the Eastern Conference kind of just got a little bit better than the West.
And did you notice the one team you left out? The Cleveland Cavaliers.
Good God, I did.
The team that I told you, I thought LeBron had a better chance winning there. We're talking about winning the championship, because right now I don't think Cleveland has to shore up their bench as much.
Yeah.
I think they're a more solid team overall. We know what to expect. And some people were saying James Harden and LeBron is not going to work. And then I was like, man, stop.
I was one.
It worked in New Jersey with KD and Kyrie until we had the comments, the anti-Semites, things like that started happening.
Yeah.
And then they had got the new owner, Joe Zhu or whatever his name is, and Sean Marks.
Yeah.
And they made a mockery of my team. So Harden was doing his job. And then you remember once Kyrie went down, stopped playing, and then KD became disgruntled.
Mm.
and Harden became disgruntled. So a lot of things happened that didn't happen on the floor. And so I look at them, Cleveland. I think they're a very solid team. I thought they would do a lot better this past season down the stretch, but they struggled. But him going to Philly, LeBron going to Philly, I mean, can you pick a better starting five? You can only go to right now Oklahoma City maybe, and of course they lost Lou Dort. You
He's
can go
gone.
to the Spurs.
I mean, you got to go Spurs. And, we've questioned the Spurs because we thought, well, you bring Tobias Harris in, is he a starter? I don't know if he starts right away. I would hope he would, but you have a lot of people thinking Tobias Harris won't be a starter right away. It's going to take him time to be a starter. They're thinking Julian Champagne's still there. I say you bring in Tobias Harris.
I'm sorry.
He's going to start.
People talking about you bringing in a 10, 11-year veteran.
Yeah.
to come off the bench. He's never come off the bench his entire career.
Yeah.
And this is not the time to start messing with Tobias's head. You let him come and fit right in. I mean, he's a veteran, a proven veteran.
Yeah.
And he played well this past year in the playoffs. He's not a Jaylen Brown, but when you bring in a guy like that, you're not bringing him in, and he's not coming here to be a guy that comes off the bench. Yeah. He didn't come off the bench with the Clippers.
No.
He didn't come off the bench with the Pistons. He didn't come off the bench with Philly. He's not going to come off the bench with the Spurs. Really, if you look at it, which one of those guys are better suited for coming off the bench? Is it Tobias or is it Julian Champagnie?
Well, Julian.
And I have to remind people again, they did give Tobias $500,000 more than they gave Julian Champagnie.
Yeah.
Some people might be like, that's not a lot of money, but anything over $1 means they trust you a little more than they trust Champagnie. So you got to remember that. And I'm ready for it. Let's go, Tobias.
But I made the case on Spurs and Focus, and Jeff, I see your comments out there. We're going to get to your comments here in a second. I made the case on Spurs and Focus is that Julian Champagnie is probably, I think, ideally suited more coming off the bench, because then look at this. You have Dylan Harper, Keldon Johnson, guys that get to the basket. Then you've got, whoever else is coming off the bench for them. Luke Cornett, inside guy. Julian's going to get more looks beyond the arc with that second team, because on the first team, Wemby doesn't exactly play the post. He likes to be on the arc. De'Aaron Fox is out there. Stephon Castle's out there. Devin Vassell likes to shoot the 3-ball. So it's kind of clogged in that first, starting five. I think Julian off the bench helps him out a whole lot more.
Other than Harrison Barnes, who becomes the leader vocally?
For that second team?
No, or for the Spurs, period. Looking at their lineup now, you just brought in Tobias.
Yeah. I mean,
so that kind of sets Harrison Barnes back a little bit, right?
Well, I don't expect him to play much.
Right. So Champagnie is a good shooter. We know that, right?
Perfect shooter.
And he fits the Spurs system very well. But when we talk about leadership,
yeah,
what role does Champagnie have leadership-wise? None. He's not a vocal. He's not the voice of reason out there. When times go rough, you need a veteran. And that's where Tobias comes in. This is the reason I figured they brought in Tobias, because they wanted to go all in on Harrison Barnes, right?
Yeah.
But we know Harrison Barnes is up there in years now. And I'm not saying he's done, but he's aged. So Tobias, even Tobias coming in, he's a veteran, proven now. But you got to have that guy every now and then that can talk to players. You got De'Aaron Fox, but I don't know right now if all the guys are still bought in on Fox. So you got to have that guy like a Tobias who brings calmness to the locker room.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing, I think. I like Fox. I like all these guys. But when you talk about a guy that's in the league and has never been an all-star, has made $38 million a year, there's a reason why, and it's his presence on and off the floor.
Yeah, Jeff is in here, and Jeff, we love Jeff Garcia, Spurs in Focus. You can watch him on Answer Now TV as well, where you can find the Sports Answer and the Friday Drive as well. There's also the Thursday Night Delight. Got a lot of stuff on the Sports Answer here on Answer Now TV. He says the stats. Now he's going by stats, so don't bite my head off. Stats show that the better floor spacer is Julian, not Tobias. Julian helps Wembanyama more so.
How could you go by stats when Tobias hasn't even been on the floor with them yet? So to me, they're insignificant stats until you can actually look at the body of work of both of the guys with the Spurs.
Yeah.
I can't just go in and say that Champagnie, of course he's going to have a higher rating. He's the only one who has a rating right now. Tobias hasn't played 1 second for the Spurs. So let's revisit this after he suited up a few weeks, Jeff, and then let's revisit it. But right now, of course, it would be Champagnie.
I bookmarked it for everybody so I can revisit it later on. It's Derek Irvin, Rudy Campos Jr. Other questions on LeBron. So Jeff's asking if he wins a title with Philly, does that cement him as GOAT status over Jordan?
Who's asking this?
That would be Jeff. That would be Jeff.
Oh, he's asking you that.
He's trying to stir the pot. He's just trying to stir the pot.
That question for both of us?
Well, I mean, it's got to be for both of us.
I'm going to say this one more time for people to hear. And Jeff, this is for you as well. And I hope I can get this out the way because last week I wrote on Facebook that I hope nobody asks me again. I'm 63. I hope I never get asked again about LeBron and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the most dominant player. We're talking about wing. I'll leave Kareem Jabbar out right now. We just talking about Michael Jordan, a basketball. It looked like if it wasn't him, the logo wasn't Jerry West, it would be who? The guy, the kid, even the kids never seen him in their life. They know to say Air Jordan.
Yeah.
And it's not just because of his shoes. The man won 10 scoring titles. He struggled in his first, 4, 5, maybe 6 years.
Yeah.
And then he only ended up playing, 13 full years. He won 6 championships. He won 6 finals MVPs. He won 5 regular season MVPs. He never lost in the finals. He went 11-0 completely. If you go by the Olympics, if you go by his overall championship record, he has never been beaten in the championship. Even Bill Russell lost 1 time. They won 11-1. Mike's undefeated as a basketball player when he gets to the finals. So I love LeBron. He's done some great things. But you guys just go look up Michael Jordan's mixtape. And then let's revisit that again as well.
I'm bookmarking all this stuff for you, man. Jalen and Bron on the floor, comment coming in as well. And they're saying Jalen and Bron on the floor both need the ball. You think that's going to be a problem for Jalen Brown, LeBron James?
I'm more worried about Jalen than LeBron because LeBron at this point wants to win. He only has 2 years left. He's trying to get 5. People have to remember Steph has 5.
Yeah.
Kobe has 5.
Timmy?
Mike has 6. Tim Duncan has 5. LeBron does not want to be stuck on 4. That's just him. He went to this team to win now. And if he only played 1 more year, his goal is to win this year. That's understood. The man took a 2-year, $8 million deal. Yeah. So it has nothing to do with winning, with the money. It has everything to do with what the team he feels gives him the best opportunity to win. And I have to say this, though. I hope people realize Joel Embiid has lost weight. Did you know that?
I had not.
Okay, well,
I didn't even know he was healthy.
There. You know I do my research. Okay. Joel
healthy?
Embiid, and then they showed him on video. He didn't even talk. He was just, you could just see he was just ecstatic. So I don't think they'll have a problem sharing the ball. You know, sometimes you could play well when you have 3 or 4 or 5 guys on the team. And the good thing is Maxey's not a selfish player.
No.
Edgecombe is not a selfish player.
No.
LeBron's not a selfish player. I don't even know where that ever came from. One thing we can never say, the man is getting ready to be 3rd in assists pretty soon.
Yeah.
All time.
He's going to stay there. So he won't be able to catch the man.
No, he's not going to catch the top 2.
No.
But I'm saying he's going to catch number 3, I did believe, is Chris Paul.
Yeah.
So then you put the rest of it, it goes back to what I said. If Embiid is healthy, right now, what team would you pick over them in the Eastern Conference? You did say, boss, that the Knicks lost no one really significant.
Well, they lost big man. I said the only significant loss.
Not only did they lose big man, remember the year the Spurs lost on that last basket?
Yeah.
Tim Duncan was where on the bench? On the bench, right?
Yeah. With
18 rebounds, right? So I'm going to say how significant that guy was on the Knicks. Who got the last rebound, the most important rebound of that series?
I know who it was. But
in
I
Game
have to look- I
5.
have
A
to
guy
look the
by the
last
name of
name.
Mitchell Robinson.
Oh, Mitchell Robinson, yeah.
So you losing that guy, and also he's a rim protector.
Mhm.
So that's a big loss. They didn't bring in Mr. Kessler, Walker Kessler, or anybody.
No, they didn't.
So that's a big loss.
It's a huge loss, but I mean, are they banking on Joel Embiid not playing pretty much all year?
I don't know, because you see,
I mean, it's death taxes and Embiid probably missing
I don't
majority of the
know,
games.
man. But what about with the weight loss? And here's the thing too: we always talk about off the court. You have to make players have to feel they're being treated with the respect they deserve, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes little moves, you didn't bring in a guy that a player might have wanted to play with. Things happen, and then players become disgruntled.
Yeah.
So when a player is happy, do you notice they don't miss as much time? When you get them a product on the floor, their health seems to get a little better. And then when you have no reason to show up, okay, I'll bring a guy from Michigan real quick.
Okay.
I love him to death. Devin Booker. Okay. When Devin Booker's playing with certain guys like KD, even when they had Bradley Beal, right? They seemed to have a better chance to win. They had Yusuf Nurkic. He seemed to be healthier. And then when you once you lose certain guys and you're looking at the lottery possibly and all that, you notice guys have a tendency to sit out some games that they actually could have played in.
They go fishing very early.
Well, I'm just saying. So Embiid this might have reignited him. We'll see.
We'll see. And also, do you think anything less than a finals appearance by Philly is a failure?
Yes. One reason. What's it? 8 letters? B-O-B, then space, M-E-Y-E-R-S, 9 letters. Bob Myers.
Yeah.
Which is the reason I said 2 weeks ago that I thought LeBron, if he was going to join Philadelphia, there was only one guy I felt could make him change his mind. That wasn't Rich Paul. That was Bob Myers, the guy who was formerly the GM with the Golden State Warriors, the guy who was part of the 4 championships.
Recruited KD.
The guy who left before he saw the ship sinking.
Mm-hmm.
And then they bring in Mike Dunleavy Jr. But Bob Myers goes to Philly, and they get rid of who was the GM before him, Daryl Morey. They bring in Bob Myers. LeBron just starts salivating. I could just see it now. And then goes in and tells Savannah, honey, I love you. And I told you we're going to do this together, make this decision. But guess what? Philly, here we come.
As we mentioned, LeBron James is a Philadelphia 76er. I guess Jeff's asking, what team do you think was second on his list? Miami, Cleveland, or the Warriors?
Cleveland.
It had to be the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean,
I don't think ever that Golden State was really on the table.
No. He wanted to get out of the Western Conference. He saw how difficult the Western Conference was. And, I mean, we're talking Spurs, OKC, a healthy Denver team, which they're running it back. I mean, again, we didn't see a healthy Denver team last year. I mean, those 3 teams alone are enough for LeBron to say, let me go back out east. It was either going to be Cleveland or it was going to be Philadelphia, where he ended up anyway. It wasn't going to be Miami because, again, you're going with Giannis and Bam. Cool. I get that. But A, it didn't have the same feeling with Wade and Bosh. And B, he's going to a team that lost a ton of talent in that trade. I mean, you're going to have to rebuild a team with those 3 guys, and he doesn't have time to rebuild in Miami. He wants to win now.
He's not Gary go to 8 finals in a row, that's for sure.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no.
It's a different time.
I get that, man. And also, hey, JC's interested. Spurs get more championship before LeBron gets 1. He's betting on that. Yeah, I mean, LeBron's only got maybe 1 year left.
Betting on it?
He bets, and he'll bet that the Spurs get 3 more titles before LeBron gets another one. But I mean, LeBron's only got 1 more year.
He's betting that. So he's saying the Spurs are going to win next year or 10 years from now. Yeah, I guess that would be a pretty good bet if some sucker out there, because if LeBron doesn't win this year, that gives the Spurs ample opportunity to win 1 in the next or 2 or 3 in the next 20 years.
So I say this.
Good bet.
I'll say this. If the 76ers don't win the title this year, LeBron retires. If they do win, I think he comes back for a year or 2.
I believe either way he comes back because it goes back to what I said about 5 and then possibly 6. There's no way he wins this year, wins number 5,
Mm.
and walks away 1 year short of possibly attaining number 6.
That part, yeah. That's why I said if they win, he comes back. If they lose, I don't think he comes back.
I think either way, that man wore number 23, man. He can talk about his own identity. He's a king and all that. That man wore number 23. So he wants to at least match number 23. And I'm not talking about just accolades, now stats. We're talking about rings. Because if you look at Mike, all the trophies, you see every time they show the trophies, the big difference between what a LeBron has accrued over his 22 years and then what Mike accrued over his 13. It's absolutely amazing.
It is, man. It is. I'm jealous of Mike. I wish I had a trophy collection like that. Also, shout out to JC. We talked about it earlier. We did a basketball camp, and he's the one that gave me the cards, Derek Irvin cards. So we passed them out to the kids yesterday. He autographed all of them. You made the kids' days, both of you guys there, Derek and JC. So, yeah, I mean, LeBron James is basically, Philadelphia 76er. Where do they rank in the Eastern Conference? For me, I don't know if I have them number 1. I don't think they're far beyond all other teams out there. I think they're obviously in the mix. They're in the contention for coming out of the Eastern Conference. But again, I got teams like Boston, New York. I still got those teams kind of, hand in hand with the Philadelphia 76ers because why? You go literally maybe 6 players deep in Philadelphia where these other teams have a little bit more depth. So unless you're going to play these guys 42 minutes a game, which they're not.
Joel Embiid, not.
Yeah, Joel Embiid will retire on the spot if he has to play more than 30 minutes a game. So you're not playing these guys all these minutes, so you've got to have a reliable bench, which they don't have. So ranking the Eastern Conference, where does Philadelphia fit for you?
If we were ranking today, I would have them 3rd. I would have them behind the Knicks and this is what's challenging for me because between the Knicks, Boston, I still like Boston.
Yeah.
And Detroit Pistons.
Again.
So looking at those teams already being more set as far as having a complete roster, I would have to put Philly 4th. And I'm not ready to just go crazy either. I hope people realize this. LeBron went to Philly. That's great. But we're talking about the 42-year-old LeBron now. That's when the season rolls around, not the 24-year-old LeBron.
Yeah.
So I'm high on the team, but I'm not ready to jump over the rail like Philly is just guaranteed the championship. Because didn't we go through that last year when people thought it was either the Spurs or OKC guaranteed, and there was no other team that could win?
Yeah.
And then I had to remind some people about that team over there in the East that was making lots of noise coming back from 20 points a night, the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
So right now I would have them 4th in the East right now.
Yeah, I've got them, I think, right around 3, 4 maybe, but I think I would maybe put them 3 at best. Should the Spurs have been the spot for James? They did go to the finals and are legit title contenders. Now that it's over, I mean, I don't think the Spurs were ever in LeBron's mind. I think in the back of his mind they were, but I don't ever think there was a legitimate, shot at him coming to San Antonio. He doesn't like the Mexican food. I don't know many people like the Mexican food.
I just think that was both Golden State and Spurs were 2 smoke screens.
Yeah,
it really came down.
They had to throw Western Conference.
It really came, and I didn't ever think Miami was going to happen because Pat Riley's still there. Yeah. Eric Spoelstra's still there. Didn't LeBron call a meeting to try to get Eric Spoelstra fired?
Yeah,
and I'm really the Cleveland thing I expected, but I wouldn't have been surprised about that either because he does have an owner there from Detroit. And they had some words as well, owner by the name of Dan Gilbert. So I'm sure at the end of the day, when he did all this thinking, his mind scrambling, what's going to be the opportunity that I can go in fresh?
Yeah.
He wouldn't have went back to Miami fresh. Some people still upset, when he left. The way that ended with him and Wade, D Wade not knowing he was leaving. Yeah. Some people still upset about him leaving Cleveland the second time. So I think he wanted to start fresh. A new look, and here's his opportunity in Philadelphia.
You said Dan Gilbert, he's not going to write a letter to LeBron or apologize again for everything that he did? I mean, he did
Dan's a
it the first time and it worked.
Dan's a tough man.
Yeah, I like the Spurs. It was a great talk, and you know what? If LeBron did come to San Antonio, fantastic. I mean, I wouldn't have been doing cartwheels or anything like that. It's just another legitimate player that could help them, especially when you're up 29 and you're bricking 8 3-point shots in a row and not making anything. He's the type of player that comes in, calms everything down, can get you a couple of baskets, get you back on the right shift. But the same thing with Tobias Harris. I mean, you're basically, not getting the same player, but Tobias Harris can come in and get a few buckets when you need them the most. So I'm okay with him not being in San Antonio. JC's back in here. He says, heck yeah, on the cards. Cool experience, no doubt. So, yeah, the basketball cards at
JC, and I have to thank you. I've never met you, my man, but I feel like I have, and I have to sincerely thank you very much for making that happen yesterday. You and Rudy deserve kudos, and you're getting them from me, Derek Gurr.
And I'll reach out to JC. We're going to do some on-the-scene stuff for the Sports Answer. So, yeah, we'll get everybody squared away when we do stuff like that on the scenes. Sports Talk with Austin is in here. Derek says, Derek and Rudy, don't sleep on the Hawks, a dark horse team. Funny I mentioned that because there was a rumor going around saying that Sam Presti decided, you know what? San Antonio controls the Hawks pick next year. Hawks kind of not really a lottery team, but they could be a little bit worse this year. Let me give them Lou Dort and Isaiah Joe. And they got a little bit better. Sam Presti didn't get anything in return.
Not Isaiah Joe. You know where he went.
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking
Detroit Pistons.
Lou Dort is in Atlanta. So now the Hawks get a little bit better.
Kingston Fleming. Keaton Wallace on deck. Time to step up this year. Now look, you and these Atlanta teams, so I'm gonna break it gently because I know you love the Falcons.
Me? I'm a Falcon.
I know. I'm
Falcon
just saying,
fan. I'm
the
not a
city
Hawk
of Atlanta.
fan.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Braves.
They're trying to convert you, but this year is not gonna be the year they convert you.
No.
I want them to do well, and I still have questions about this year. How fast do they want to bring Kingston Fleming along? To me, that's important because you're looking at him, guys his size, like a Darius Acuff.
Yeah.
You don't want to bring them in too soon, kind of like I talked about Dylan Harper and De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
So I can see them bringing him along slowly. I like the Hawks, man. But the way they went out, Rudy, I'm sorry. When you score, what did they score? 72. What was the score in the first half? Like 72-22.
Yeah.
I still have that taste in my mouth. So I'm not going to put them in my top 4, especially when LeBron just went to Philadelphia. He's better than that. And so any team that lost was down 50 in the first half, man, scored 20-something points. I'll put Orlando over them right now.
And you don't like Orlando.
And you know I don't like Orlando.
So
I like Toronto.
Oh, yeah. Well, especially if they get Kawhi. So let me go through the list here because Spurs fans, if you're listening, I mean, you could potentially have a lottery pick next year because Philadelphia, Boston, New York, Toronto, even without Kawhi, I still think Toronto's better. Cleveland, that's 5 teams already. You said you'd put Orlando, so we'll put Orlando ahead of them. Detroit, that's 7. Miami is 8. Can we even throw in Washington possibly? Right there?
What did I tell you? My surprise team so far today would be who in the Eastern Conference? The Washington Wizards. Even with Trae Young.
And we're not even talking about the Charlotte Hornets. So, I mean, 10 teams could potentially be better than Atlanta next year.
Only reason I didn't mention Charlotte.
Indiana.
Yeah, Tyrese Halliburton.
I mean.
Yeah, but you know why? The only reason I didn't mention Charlotte is because of I don't know what they're going to do yet as far as how they're going to play Con Knipple.
Yeah.
Is he going to be 2 guards still, or are they going to try to move him to the 1? And so there are questions in Charlotte. And I like, Brandon Miller, I thought had a really good year. No more Miles Bridges.
Yeah.
No more LaMelo Ball. So that's a different team. So that might be a team that's building for the future. So basically all this talking we've done, and this has been about the Eastern Conference. So you know how exciting it's going to be this 2026, 2027 season? It's going to be fire.
I know we've talked so much Eastern Conference. You would figure that our show is in New York right now. I mean, that's how much Eastern Conference we talked in this. We forgot we live in a NBA city in South Texas here. So again, Sports Talk with Austin's back, and he says, "Do you guys think the Nuggets were ever in play like some people thought?" I did.
We
I
both
mean,
who did we pick last
we-
year to win? I really was, but we didn't know.
injuries.
We can't see in the future. I didn't know Aaron Gordon was going to be in and out the lineup all year.
Yeah.
And then I did say they've never been the same since Jeff Green and Bruce Brown the first time.
Yeah.
And after they brought Bruce back, I still don't believe in Christian Brown.
Yeah.
Perry Watson. Those guys still have questions. Not Perry Watson.
Peyton.
I'm giving a shout out to the legendary Southwestern coach of Detroit High School, greatest coach in high school history in Detroit, Perry Watson. So sorry for but I don't know, man. Denver, Jokic. Does Jokic look the same to you this past year? Or did he look like he might have been beaten up a little bit, a little sore? Something was going on.
I think he went into the playoffs pretty banged up. He didn't look good going into the playoff run.
He became really moody.
Yeah.
That was what surprised me the most out of him. So, and I looked at that just a sign of frustration. That tells me he knew they weren't good enough to win the championship. Yeah. Even getting by Minnesota or a team like that would be hard. And it seemed like to wear on him last year. So we got to figure out what do they do now? Because no Michael Porter Jr., we know that.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon's starting to get injured a little more. Jamal Murray, sometimes he's in and out of the lineup. So, yeah, is this the I won't say Denver is on their way down, but there's questions.
I think so. This is the way I thought about Denver. You and I picked them both to win the title last year, and for Joker going into the playoffs, you said he was moody, probably because he lost the eBay bet on the horse that he was trying to buy because he's a horse collector. But no, I think with Denver,
sorry, and Mike Malone.
Oh, Mike Malone too. That was a big loss. That was big. My thing with Denver was I think they're running it back because I feel that they are a good team and they feel that they are, but it was the injury bug. That's what got them was the injury bug. So maybe that's why they're going to run it back, see how they play this year. Could they be a title contender? I don't have them in the title contention this year. I mean, Jokic's going to be in the MVP talk.
Well, on that note, I was just going to ask you a quick question.
Sure.
So we spent all this time on the East, right?
Yeah.
But just to go to one particular player, because we talk about at some point players becoming overrated or underrated, right?
Yeah.
So Jokic right now, if he doesn't win another championship, are we having a different conversation about where he ranks all time? Because he was moving up. He was moving up my ladder quickly. But then I started looking at, hey, well, he only has one championship. Kobe had 2 finals MVPs, right? So you start naming guys that have like 1 or 2 MVPs. Steph has 2 MVPs. No, Steph only has 1.
No, he's got
one finals MVP.
Yeah.
So people always talk about accolades, right?
Yeah.
So at some point, we're going to have to do a show about where do these guys rank if they only in 1 championship. Steph, Embiid with none, Jokic with 1. Kawhi already has 2. Yeah, that's going to be another conversation for another day.
I don't think we can knock Jokic off very far based off of championships, though.
Well, yes, you can. And here's why. If you just go by merits on the floor, where will Wilt Chamberlain really rank?
That'd be 1.
Okay, so because he's only won 2 championships, you don't hear people talking about Wilt. You barely hear him talking about the young people today talk about Bill Russell, and he won 11-1.
Yeah.
So if they can start not being talked about as much, Jokic has to make something else happen the rest of his career.
So basically, he needs another title.
He needs at least one more. Well, we start talking about the top tier, right? We talking about there's levels to this we always talk about, right?
Yeah.
The tier 1s, the tier 2s, and we talking about the Hall of Famers. You have to have a little more on your resume, right?
You do.
Hasn't it hurt guys like Oscar Robertson?
Yeah.
Hasn't it hurt guys like Jerry West?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Joker, what are you doing to me, man? I was pulling you all the way up into the top centers positions. I still think you may end up being one of the top centers of all time, but
Dr. J. I'm just saying.
I know.
We talking about the best of the best.
Everybody you named, we're gonna have to get in studio and let them plead their case.
Bird doesn't even get. A lot of people had Larry Bird in top 3 all time, right? We talking about overall player. But what hurts him? He gets vilified by some people for only getting 3. And for only getting 3, and you know I'm being sarcastic.
That was 3 people
Because they compare him to Magic.
Yeah.
Magic got 5, Bird got 3.
Yeah.
Some people penalize him for that. So yes, Jokic has a little more to do as far as his body of work.
Jeff saying, the Pacers being slept on. No, we mentioned the Pacers earlier. They're going to be back. Halliburton's going to be back. Running back, same team with the exception of Miles Turner. They should be fine. They're going to be not maybe. I don't know their playoff mix, but they'll be right there that they could things, whether it be playoff or play in, they'll be in there somewhere. Austin mentions that he's a little bit higher on Atlanta than most are going in, which is perfectly fine. The good thing about sports talk, especially talking sports with Derek and I, your opinion matters to us just as much as ours matters to yours. It's an opinion. And if you are high on the New Orleans Pelicans and they're going to be the number 1 team, we both say, hey, yeah, well, that's your opinion, man. You go for whatever you feel like.
Who would be the most motivated player going into the season, like right now? LeBron's one of them, but for me, guess who it will be? Trae Young.
Trae Young, yeah.
Look, the man has averaged 25 and 10. Do people realize that? 25 and 10. I'm not talking about 1 year or 2 years.
Yeah.
And now people are saying they're putting Atlanta in the mix, and Atlanta loses Trae Young. He walks out the door, and people are giving Atlanta more credit than they did when Trae was there, even though he was 25 and 10. Wow.
Jeff asking why are the Rockets being so quiet this offseason?
Quiet during the season. What do you want? I
mean, exactly. They hardly make any noise.
They had one of the most overrated players. I like the guy, but never again will I look at him as a superstar after watching what Draymond did to him.
Yeah.
You know who that guy is? So if Chet gets some flack, so does Alpern Sengun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And yeah, Sports Talk with Austin. Last comment before we move on to the next subject here, next topic. He's got Joker as one of the greatest, or the greatest of all time, center, top 50 for him. Again, it's your opinion. Everybody has their own list and everything. Derek and I have gone over our list and everything. When we get back, Derek, we've got some Spurs talk, and I've got some hard Spurs questions for you. We also got to go into remember this guy when it comes to Spurs at the end of the show here. But yeah, it revolves around Victor and his latest contract. I want to put something in perspective for you. I put it in perspective last night and kind of made some people think a little bit. I want to get your thoughts on that. Also, it's going to be an Artis Gilmore mention because, again, we had a guy last night to talk to us about Artis Gilmore and the Spurs.
The A-Train.
I was like, holy cow, we got an Artis Gilmore mention. We're going to get another one here when we get back here on the Friday Drive of the Sports Answer. Derek Irvin, Rudy Campos Jr. will be back.
Can I help you?
Yes, madam. I'm a roofing contractor, and I'm giving out free estimates to lucky homeowners today. Would you like one?
Nancy, don't do it!
Wait, who said that?
Up here, Nancy! I'm your roof! Be careful, that guy is not a roofer!
Yes, I am. And I have a brand new shining ladder to prove it.
Well, where's your ladder?
Right there in my truck. The one with the Michigan license plate.
Nancy, why don't you call Navarro Roofing? They're the ones who replaced me last time. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and they've been in business since 1968.
I remember my dad used them to replace our roof when I was just a kid. I'm going to call Navarro Roofing. Besides, they did my neighbor's house, and it looks amazing. And the cleanup was excellent.
Before you let anyone talk you into a good deal, call the Chamber of Commerce and see if they're actually local. Navarro Roofing is local and supports our local business.
That's the best call I ever made. Thanks, Roof.
Don't trust out-of-state storm chasers. Trust the name Texas has relied on for generations. Call Navarro Roofing today at 210-680-5070 or visit...
Looking for the inside track on the silver and black? From deep dive analysis to breaking news on Wemby and the squad, get it all at Spurs in Focus. Join veteran beat writer Jeff Garcia for the ultimate one-stop spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. Subscribe now at spursinfocus.substack.com.
billboards, gas stations, gyms, grocery stores, and more.
Salem Media puts your brand in front of San Antonio wherever life takes them.
Call 210-526-3626. Call 210-526-3626 and get noticed.
You know your business inside and out, but does your community? With Salem Media's podcast and video production services, you can share your expertise and connect with customers on their commute or wherever they listen. We handle production and distribution, so your content reaches the right ears on multiple podcast platforms. Stop letting competitors own the conversation. Call Salem Media today and ask about our local business podcast packages. Call Chris at 210-526-3631. 210-526-3631.
So, like, I hear about the Spurs this y Spurs that, y como que esto y esta, pero I never hear about the real Spurs chisme. Nine, por favor.
All right, you guys love that little Spurs Cheesemith segment here that we've got. And shout out to Derek Gervin here with me today on the Friday Drive of the Sports Answer. It's Rudy Campos Jr. You can catch us every single week. It's either the Friday Drive or the Thursday Night Delight edition of the Sports Answer. We will let you know what days we are on, but the best way for you to get in contact with us and to make sure you are watching the show, Answer Now TV on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Shout out to Navarro Roofing. Again, South Texas, we have a lot of weather here in South Texas. They're the best in the business. They work with insurances, so they're going to take care of you from the moment you call them to the moment the job is complete. It's guaranteed to be done the right way every time by Navarro Roofing. And shout out to Salem Surround. We are in the Salem Surround studios here. And again, Salem Surround, digital marketing needs, they will be the number one option for you to get your business and your marketing, everything you need. It's Salem Surround. Call them today. Spurs Cheeseman, Derek. I got some Cheeseman for you. Nobody's even talking about it. I talked about it last night. First off, Wemby and De'Aaron Fox, Tobias, they're all in Katy, Texas right now. They're all practicing Harrison Barnes. They're all warming up together. De'Aaron is happy as a bug. Wemby's loving it too. They're both talking. Everything looks fine. I go to Houston next week, so I'm going to be joining them at the camp. I'm going to do my best to become a Spurs member when I go out and ball on De'Aaron Fox and dunk on Wemby next weekend. I'll be sure to bring the video to you. But it's crazy because all these smiles, and it got me thinking when I was on Spurs in Focus last night. Wemby just signed a 4-year extension, 5th-year option. That takes him 8 years in the league. I asked the question, is this the last max deal we see for Victor? And I asked that because, again, only one person with that height has ever played a longer career, and that was Mark Eaton. We've already seen the injuries. And he's not a player that's taking summers off. He's going to play for Team France in 4 games in August. So you know he's going to play in the Olympics and everything. I asked that because it legitimately concerns. Is this the last contract extension, the max one, that we see for Victor based off of NBA history?
Man, why are you trying to get me run out of San Antonio?
You're not. They'll run me out of. You know what? They already did.
Hey,
I don't even live
the
in San
gentleman
Antonio
just asked my opinion, and I mean, I'm not a scientist, so I'm not a doctor or any of that. But if you go by history, will Victor be playing in 6 or 7 more years? Basically, that's a tough one for me because every time I get excited, something happens. I look at the Georgie Muir sons. Yeah. Even Manute, rest in peace. I know it was a car accident. Yao Ming, just Ralph Sampson.
Sampson, and that's the guy that I wanted to point to was Ralph Sampson.
Sabonis, Arvydas Sabonis. Yeah. That's a tough. I'm gonna say, man, I'm gonna pray that it happens, but I have to go with the facts, right? The facts say that big guy, tall guys like that don't have long careers. They don't have 15-year careers.
Yeah.
And then I could go back and then you look at another one, Sean Bradley.
Yeah.
Man, you got guys like Kareem that were exceptions to the rules. You know, we're just talking about over 7 feet now. I'm not talking about necessarily 7'6", 7'7", but Boban is still around. Even though you see he's not moving, he doesn't move very gracefully.
But he's not playing the minutes Victor did.
I'm honestly right now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna say yes, this was Victor's last maximum deal. That'll be coming up. Yes.
I had to ask because I know for a fact all these national guys, they're gonna be talking about it probably next week because they always tend to talk about the topics we talk about late. And I'm bringing it up now because it legitimately is a concern. And again, I'm not trying to rain on San Antonio's parade and say Victor's not going to be a Spur forever.
You just ask a question.
It's a simple question, but you also base that question off of history and facts. One player, Mark Eaton, is the only guy that's had a longevity career.
Okay, now I gotta say this though. Here's one thing that's not in Victor's favor. Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned Mark Eden, and these guys played in college.
Yeah.
Victor started playing in the professionals as like a 15-year-old?
I think, 15, 16.
So I hope people remember. And he was playing in the pro league, that league that Tony Parker just became a coach.
Yeah.
One of the highest paid coaches over there. So he's been in Tony Parker's program for several years. So you have to factor that in as well. That is professional basketball.
100%.
Yeah. So it's going to be rough, man. We just hope that it works out, and then he's going to go through a few body changes.
And not only that, I bring up Mark Eden. He never played Olympic ball.
No.
So Victor's going to continuously play summer ball.
He wants to play.
You can't deny him playing for Team France or anything like that.
All-star game. He wants to play hard.
And then think about it. The playoff runs, Derek. I mean, we saw him go from 28 minutes a game to well over 35, almost 40 minutes in some games, something he's never done in his career.
He's getting ready to because the restrictions are done. He has no more reasons to be playing 28 minutes.
Exactly.
It's 35-minute time.
So now you're putting more wear and tear on a body that we've already seen kind of.
And he falls a lot.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens.
He falls a lot. And Victor is what the word for the young ones. I hope y'all know this word, gangly.
Yeah.
That's what he is. Sometimes Victor's like a giraffe. I'm just being honest. He looks like, I'm just being honest.
No, it's
when
true.
you look at some of his movements,
it's true.
I'm a guy that watches, I like my animals, right? And when you watch a giraffe, you know that just their height. And you watch when they fall, they're awkward falls. And Victor, I'm not trying to be funny. He has a lot of falls where you're like, oh, I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
And so that's what scares me when you're talking about longevity. And so that makes me once again say that I want to see him have a long NBA career, but I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah. And again, it's not, it's nothing that we're going to, get San Antonio Spurs fans upset about. I mean, we are literally talking about, facts and the history of the league. And
Margot Didak, you remember her? Where did
Margot
she play?
Didak.
Right here in San Antonio. I saw her at North Star Mall.
Yeah.
And I asked her really how long did she think she was going to be how long she was going to be able to play. I asked her that at the mall. She wasn't able to give me a sure answer because none of us know. But that's another very tall person. We're talking about a tall young lady.
Yeah.
That wasn't able to sustain a long career.
Yeah. And, like I said, and I think Jeff came up here, and actually Tim Gonzalez is in here. Derek says, "What's up, fellas?" And he says, "Rudy, hope I came on to ask you and Derek a question. I asked you and Jeff." Yeah, Tim asked that question. I don't remember it offhand. But Jeff is back in here. He says, "But in the other big man era, it was tougher. Way more physical game. Wembanyama is not in a so rough era. Current NBA rules are softer." I don't think that matters.
That doesn't matter because Victor brings the ball down the floor a lot. It's a different game. He's exerting a lot of energy.
Exactly.
On both ends of the floor. And then a lot of times he exerts energy on the defensive end that he shouldn't. He goes all out at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And so he's still in the learning process. He has to learn how to preserve his body. But going back to what you asked from the beginning, it doesn't look great. I mean, what body of work? Who can we name that had a 15-year career? We thought that was going to be Ralph Sampson.
And,
it didn't pan out.
Sampson, I mean, for those that remember Ralph Sampson, I mean, he kind of was what Victor is right now earlier in his career. I
sat down with him after his career. You hear me?
Yeah.
I'm talking about within the last 10, 12 years, whatever, when I saw him struggle to even get up and shake my hand. Those knees were shot. and
Yeah.
it broke my heart because look at the projections we had for Ralph Sampson. I'm hoping that doesn't happen anywhere near, to Victor. But when you tall like that, man, I mean, the odds aren't great. We just be honest about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be something that we'll talk about, a little bit more later on. But it's definitely a question I had to ask you because it hit me last night. I asked the Spurs and Focus fans, and I even asked Jeff, and it kind of took him by a surprise. Like, why are you asking me this? Because think about it. He's already got 4 or 5 years in the league on this first contract. He's going to go for another 4 after that. I don't think you give him another max. That's tough.
At that point in his career, we're going to find out if Victor is the greatest, like he was projected to be in this last year.
Yeah.
After one game today, you're anointed as the greatest.
I know.
So by the time next year he gets another 35 and 20 and 7 blocks, somebody will be saying he's going to be the greatest again. And then we're going to have to be the 2 guys who remind him again. That's if he's fortunate enough to have a long career.
Yeah, that's a big if right now. We got one more thing to get into for the Spurs Cheeseman. And Jeff asked it, and Tim Gonzalez's question was actually right there too. It's talking about the Spurs and the center position. But before we get into that, Jeff was saying, is Gobert an exception too? I mean, Gobert's had a long career, but he hasn't taken very many falls like Victor. He's not exerting himself like Victor.
Totally different bodies, totally different games. And Rudy's spending more time. Rudy's only you got to worry about getting hurt by Rudy from those elbows.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have the body, the gangly type body as Victor. Rudy's a specimen. If you really look at it.
Yeah.
Dwight Howard, guys
sure
like
am.
that are specimens, man. Yeah, they're freak of natures.
Yeah, I sure am.
Yeah,
Oh,
Rudy's
not
been
me,
pretty
but
healthy throughout his
Gobert.
career. Yeah. So Rudy, no, I wouldn't put them in the same breath.
No, definitely not. I think Rudy's he's an exception because he doesn't exert himself a lot like Victor does. Victor does like everything on both ends of the court. Rudy's just a kind of a defensive specialist. And then, yeah, we do remember Sean Bradley, Tim. Yeah, we talked about him a little while ago. So here's the question. I got to bring up the picture here. Got, as you can see from the Kentucky Colonels there with, is that Hubie Brown? That is Hubie Brown. Right? Artist Gilmore. It wouldn't let me download a Spurs.
Is that Hubie Brown or is that Herb Brown?
I can't see. My eyes are really failing me right now, man. The question, and Jeff was talking about, Derek, give me your top 5 greatest Spurs centers. So the question that Tim asked was, where does A-Train rank among the great big Spurs men of all time? So I said, okay, David and Tim, obviously. And then you throw Wemby, I guess.
Swin Nader.
But do you put Artist Gilmore 4th?
I would go, for me, oh, man.
This is the debate that we had last night.
And, a lot of people, I don't want to cause controversy because I love this city, man. And I feel sometimes people are so sensitive because to me, it's still a debate when you talk about bigs between David and Tim.
Tim's a power forward.
Okay. Well,
I wouldn't put him in center.
Okay. I'll take, so we take Tim out.
I'll take Tim out.
So we got David Robinson 1.
Mm-hmm.
Taking Tim out, that moves Artist Gilmore up to 2.
I would say so.
Swin Nader 3.
But you were so then this is where the young crowd comes in with the torches outside waiting for you and I to leave because then they're saying, well, what about Wemby?
I can't put Wemby in there yet. Hey, young people, I love you to death, but look, you're talking to a 63-year-old man. I'm not anointing players over 1 or 2 years. It's called longevity. And as you get older, you'll learn that. Just because you're good on your job that you just got hired at and you good at it for 1 year doesn't mean you're going to be there for 8 years. You have to continue to produce. So once you produce, then that's when you start getting talked about in the upper echelon. So people have a ways to go. We have to stop anointing people so soon. So I'm going to go back right now. I got David Robinson, Artist Gilmore, Swin Nader. I'm trying to think what I put. Fabricio Alberto.
Would you put Alberto or Splitter?
Fabricio Alberto.
All right.
And then I have to think of my 5th one. That would be the hard one for me. Wow.
It's not Caldwell Jones, is it?
No.
Could make a case.
I don't want to put Jeff Crompton in there. Some people not even heard of Big Jeff. The fifth one is like really challenging for me. Even over the history, Spurs haven't had a lot of great centers.
That's surprising.
So I have to end. This is my. Here you go. Did I say George Johnson yet?
No, you didn't.
Then there he is. GJ, George Johnson, rim protector.
There you go. That's Derek's top 5 there. And of course, we're not putting Tim Duncan in there because, again, if you're saying all-time big men, now Tim said all-time big men, then obviously Tim's in there. Tim and Dave, obviously, then Artis after that. But then if you're talking about just pure center,
You're making people go do their history because you're just talking Spurs centers.
It's
They're gonna be
tough.
like, Derek, who?
You gotta
Jeff,
go.
who? Steve Johnson. I could have put him in. He wasn't here long enough.
Well, Kobe Dietrich was.
Kobe Dietrich.
Yeah. I mean,
I looked at Kobe more as a 4, like Tim.
I was gonna say, he
I
wasn't-
looked at Kobe more of a 4.
I mean, even a guy, because he won a title was what, Rasho Nesterovic?
Rasho Nesterovic.
I heard Nazir Muhammad last night. I was like, you can't
Oh,
get
come
that.
on,
Nazir
man.
Muhammad. Come
Who else they gonna name out? Nazir Muhammad. Who next? Greg Anderson, Cadillac Anderson.
We got to vote for Moses Malone. He was a Spur for a year, so
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
was.
there's a lot. I don't. You know what, Derek? Because he doesn't get love, I'm going to throw Mink Batir in there. Mink Batir's got to get a vote somewhere for me.
I can't argue, but look, I will say though, I think Artis, if you look at the history,
Yeah.
and at one time, Artis' biggest nemesis was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Mhm.
so that puts him on a high pedestal. And we just couldn't get by the Lakers with Magic Johnson and those guys, James Worthy, Kareem. But yeah, since I've been here, I would have to say David Robinson, and then without a doubt, it would be Artis Gilmore. So the first two, the best centers the Spurs have ever had, 2 lefties.
Artis Gilmore, top 2, and of course, you know,
Left hand, 2 left-handed guys.
we have a good thing when it comes to left-handers, don't we? I mean,
Well, we had this other guy that was decent by the name of Manu Ginobili. I mean,
do I dare end the show now, or do I dare ask you the other thing I wanted to ask you that involved Manu? Do I really want to upset San Antonio that much more right now?
I don't think you would upset them on a nice Friday night. They can go out and
Well, it's not Spurs season, so
they can
when
go out
it's
and have
Spurs
some
season, we'll get killed in
libations
Spurs
or whatever and shake it off. So
If it's just big men, they ask, does Dennis Rodman count?
no, because that means we would have Tim in there as well. If we took Tim,
We're
out,
talking
we have
about
to
just
take-
big men. I'm not
No,
center.
If you just
big men.
big man, I would say you have to put him in there. He was averaging how many rebounds? 17 rebounds with the Spurs.
Yeah.
And then you look at his defensive prowess. Yeah, of course you'd have to put Robin. Robin's the type guy that you could put in there if it was only 4 years, as opposed to some other guys 10 years.
Yeah.
His body of work in those 4 years merits him being in the conversation.
I'm going to ask it now. We're going to end the show on a controversial thing with Manu Ginobili. Is the reason why Manu, or put it this way, true or false, Manu Ginobili, outside of the Spurs organization, is an all-NBA player, perennial all-star, and has more awards than he did with the Spurs? Not saying rings, but his stats, his accomplishments would be miles and miles.
Now,
further.
stats and accomplishments could be 2 different things now.
Okay,
You can get all the stats, like I mentioned Trey
All-stars.
Young, but you never win anything.
all-stars and all NBAs.
That go back to what I just said, because we don't know what kind of team he would have had around him.
And
If he wasn't winning, we might be talking about him like a Carmelo Anthony or Allen Iverson.
okay,
So it's hard to say, but if you look at the way with the right organization, you already know, man, how I feel about my brother. I have Manu's second best guard all time here, and I hate to overlook Alvin Robertson, and you know I hate to overlook James Silas.
Yeah.
Guys that I've been personal friends with. But Manu is we're talking greatness. I just wish some of those years he was playing for Argentina that he would have been playing for in the NBA. Like when they were the year they upset the USA.
Yeah.
When he was playing with Pepe Sanchez and those guys.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see him in the NBA. And I'm gonna say this. I played with Drazen Petrovic, and you know, Drazen came to New Jersey because of my injury. And I would say across the board, all these players, if they were at their best, okay, that includes Dirk. I would have Ginobili as the second greatest player overseas of all time, behind
My boy.
Who?
My boy Drazen.
I said second greatest of all from overseas all time. You know, I'll take you to Lagos, Nigeria. Hakeem Olajuwon.
Okay, international Hakeem Olajuwon.
That would be my greatest of all time.
I don't.
And Manu would be right behind him for me.
Well, no, I'm crazy because I'm like, I never think Hakeem being international. Like for me, I think international is you're literally coming from Argentina to the NBA. Hakeem was in Houston, so I'm like, he's international.
They brought
but
him to Houston. No, he didn't come to. He was about going to
No.
to college, though.
no,
I still
brought
have to
him.
acknowledge his heritage.
I get it. So rank the best players coming from overseas to the NBA, no college.
Coming from overseas to, well,
You would be number one going from
I would
America
have to put
overseas.
Dirk up there.
Okay, so give me top 5.
Manu, Dirk,
Okay.
Drazen. Patrick Ewing count from Jamaica?
Nope. 'Cause he went to Georgetown. Played at Georgetown.
Arvidas Sabonis.
Okay, because he didn't play in college.
And then my 5th would be, who am I leaving out?
I mean, Dirk was Germany.
Marciulionis.
Marciulionis he did not play in college.
We talking about 5.
Okay, so I'm just saying no Dirk, no Giannis.
Yeah, I have to put Giannis in there. I have to. Let me see who I'm pulling out of there. I have to. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
See, this is why we talk about it, man.
I have to slide Giannis up in there without question. See, that's a tough one, man. You're giving me on the spot quick questions.
That's
making me feel like Harry Mack, man.
That's why we have the best show, man. That's why we have the best show.
The guys were freestyling off the dome, as they say, and that's what you got me doing here. My goodness.
That's why we have the best show in town, man. Because we do stuff off the cuff. We ask everything. We talk about everything. We don't have notes in front of us. The only reason why I have a laptop is so I can run some of the show behind the scenes.
Do you know why I wanted to sneak Marciulionis in there?
Why?
Because we always talk about trendsetters.
Yeah.
Marciulionis, before Ginobili.
He was Ginobili.
Before Goran Dragic. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There are players that have tried to emulate Marciulionis. Sharonis Marciulionis. So that's why I wanted to throw him in there, because we talk about people that have been forgotten, that have been great players. Isn't he one of them?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Maybe the strongest legs I've ever seen in the NBA.
I would say so. Before we go, Derek, miscellaneous Spurs. I want to talk. We're going to be bringing up a miscellaneous Spur. You got a lot of history with past Spurs players, meeting them, talking to them, even playing with them in training and stuff. So we gotta go back a few years here. And I was a kid. I cried a little bit, and because my boy got traded, Alvin Robertson got traded, and little did I know that the guy coming in, Terry Cummings, was going to be the man that he was for San Antonio. So our throwback today is Terry Cummings. And yeah, I mean, from the San Diego Clippers to Milwaukee to San Antonio, people forget he was that damn good.
Well, first of all, Alvin Robertson, who, as we were in the gym yesterday, whose brother was messaging me on Facebook.
That was Alvin's.
Alvin's brother, right as you and I are in the gym, right?
Yeah.
And if people listen to my video that I did on Facebook, you can hear me say, I can't answer the phone right now. So that's Alvin's brother. Now moving to Terry Cummings, who sends me scriptures every week.
Terry Cummings.
Who did I talk to? Today is Friday. Who did I just talk to on Wednesday? Terry Cummings. And I keep saying week after week, man, it breaks my heart. Him and I used to battle, okay, during the summers at St. Mary's University.
Yeah.
We battle. And I'll be honest, I even used to tell him, man, stop that crying. Big as you are. You 6'9", 250. Stop that crying. And I'm just being honest. He'll tell you the truth. And so we became really good friends. And, you know, now he's a pastor out in Georgia.
Yeah.
So he's doing well. But as far as the Hall of Fame, he should have already been there. And it breaks my heart even more because if I didn't come down here to Texas, there are only 2 schools I told you that I was interested about when we did my documentary.
DePaul
and Michigan. Who would I have been playing with if I went there as a freshman to DePaul? I've been playing with
TC.
Terry Cummings.
Yeah.
Mark Aguirre was on his way out. Terry Cummings was there. We would have been teammates. And so we just talk about how life comes full circle. All those years later, here we are 40 years later, over 40 years later, and I'm friends with Terry Cummings, who I know has done enough to be in the Hall of Fame. It breaks my heart, man, because they also include college, right?
Yeah, it's a basketball Hall of Fame.
And if you
It's
look at just
everything.
his career, he also was a guy. If you look at him, his size, weren't many guys putting the ball on the floor like he was.
No.
We talk about stretch fours or whatever. Terry was another guy, a 22 and 10 guy.
Yeah.
And when you do that for year after year after year, I was a big Marcus Johnson fan. And I know a lot of young ones like, who is that? He used to be an All-American at UCLA as well. Terry has even done more to me. I get emotional because yes, he belongs in the Hall of Fame. He's a very good man, but he was a great basketball player. And I keep telling him, I think he gets a little disappointed sometime. I could tell, but I keep telling him to stay strong. His day is coming. And I really believe that. And I think it's time.
He deserves it. He deserves it. And that's the thing is that, me as a kid, I never really understood, because I was a huge Alvin Robertson fan. I mean, I've told you many times I was a massive Alvin Robertson fan. And to see him go into Milwaukee, I was like, man, I was upset. But then watching Terry Cummings play, I'm like, I never really understood how good he was until I saw him live. I used to go to the games and see him live. And I'm like, good God, I can understand why they made the move. I mean, Terry Cummings.
I don't get it. I'm trying to figure out. I know that because when you got guys, and it's not a slight at Dame Lillard, but they got those guys that when they put that top 50 together, right? Then they added the other 25.
Yeah.
So you have your guys who are on the lower end, I'll say they still Hall of Famers. But when you get through that 70 through 75, and you got guys like Dame Lillard on there, and now that Terry Cummings, that bothers me. It really does.
He should. I mean, he's definitely Hall of Fame worthy. There's no doubt in my mind, your mind, and actually basketball knowledgeable people, there's no doubt in their minds that he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, he's got everything that a Hall of Fame requires.
I'm going to upset some people. Hopefully not. But we go by accolades, and we did talk about stats and accolades, right?
Yeah.
Reggie Miller played 18 years. Reggie Miller only made third team All-NBA 3 times.
Yeah.
No second teams, no first teams.
Yeah.
3 All-NBA third teams in 18 years. Reggie Miller's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. You and I battle about that all the time.
Well, I played against Reggie. I like Reggie, but Reggie's game for me was not Hall of Fame. But that's just my opinion. But I would also say it in his face. You know that.
I know. I'm trying to get Reggie on the show so you can say
he
that.
wouldn't come on because he'll still start talking about me slapping Ricky Pierce upside the head, and then I'm sorry, then us becoming friends. I wasn't violent, people. In the 80s, it was a physical game. 80s and 90s, you had to stand up for yourself, especially coming in my situation because I didn't come in like George.
Yeah,
I had to come in more like the guys like Austin Reeves and those guys. The Draymonds had to work our way in. So every now and then, things got a little heated.
I get it. And here's the reason why we talk about Terry Cummings. He's got better accomplishments than Reggie, and 2-time NBA All-Star, All-NBA second team, All-NBA third team, NBA Rookie of the Year, All-NBA Rookie first team. Go a little bit there. His numbers retired, but DePaul has got consensus All-American first team, average 16 and 7 for his career. I mean, if Reggie's in there, Terry Cummings has to be in there.
TC, it's not even just a 16, right? We talk about over a course of years. There was years for like 4, 5, 6 years in a row, he was like a 20 and 10 guy.
Yeah.
And then, I think he didn't get the credit he deserved because you had guys like Alvin around him, Sidney Moncrief, guys that took some of the attention off him. Paul Pressey, who might have been one of the first stretch twos, or ones if you needed him to play that style. So it kind of, I think he kind of got lost in the shuffle. But Terry Cummings definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
And really, his San Antonio Spurs career, he was pretty much, I think he averaged right around maybe 19 for his Spurs career. Before that, with Milwaukee, he was averaging 20. But when David Robinson got here, you saw his production kind of go down a little bit more, significantly actually. But
Age.
yeah, I mean, age had to do a lot with that as well. So again, just for what he's done, the body of work, he definitely is a Hall of Famer. And yeah, that's the guy that I wanted to bring up today on our Spurs throwback section here. Jeff is in here, says, Derek, is it true? Is it true Cummings had a man level strength? Yeah, had He-Man level strength.
Jeff, did you read when I wrote that about him and Mike Mitchell? Yeah, because that's funny you brought that up, Jeff. During the summer, these guys are working themselves into shape, right?
Yeah.
Well, today the game has changed. They pretty much try to stay. They got the nutritionists and all that, the trainers, so they stay in shape all year round. In our day, it wasn't like that. You use the summer to get in shape. So say we start practicing in June, right? June 1st, we all meet at St. Mary's and we practice. By July 1st, a month has went by. And then as you start prepping for camp, these guys are getting in shape. Yes, Terry Cummings was strong as an ox. Oh, man, as he got stronger, as he got in better shape, let's just say I went more towards my boxing skills, moving your head, keeping your head off the line. So yes, Jeff, very, very strong.
There you go. That's our throwback for the San Antonio Spurs today. And again, appreciate everybody that's joined us here for the Sports Answer and the Friday Drive. Next week, I'll let you know right now, it's going to be the Thursday Night Delight edition of the show. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be going to practice with Wemby and De'Aaron Fox and Katie. So I'll be there on Friday practicing with them.
You keep talking about Katie. You didn't give a shout out to Kendrick Perkins?
Who?
Kendrick,
God.
Katie Perkins.
No, I did not give a shout out to Kendrick Perkins. He gets enough shout outs from everybody on ESPN, man.
Well, I'm just trying to give him some love. Katie, Texas.
Well,
his dad, his dad guarded me in college, so I got to give his son a shout out.
All right. You give him all the shout outs he wants. Now he owes us. He's got to come back on this. He's got to come on the show first. That would be awesome to have him on here if you want.
If I ever see him at one of these AAU games, we're going to make it happen.
He's across the country on these things, apparently, is what he says. We'll talk. We'll get to him. But yeah, we'll do the Thursday Night Delight edition next week. Derek Gervin, Rudy Campos Jr. This is the Friday Night Delight. I can't even say that. The Friday Drive Home. Shout out to Navarro Roofing. Also Salem Surround. Appreciate our sponsors here over at the Sports Answer. Again, Answer Now TV on YouTube. If you want to catch Derek Gervin and I, all you gotta do is subscribe to Answer Now TV on YouTube so you can catch us every single week. So for Derek Gervin, it's Rudy Campos Jr. You guys have the sports questions. We have the sports answers. We'll see you later.